really talented and well coached. We'll present a great challenge for us. Obviously, exciting weekend for us as well with game day coming in. Our crowd always does an unbelievable job showing up there and then showing up to the stadium as well for our game. So excited to see that all come to fruition and us get to enjoy some of those moments.
All right, we'll start right here in the front with Zach.
We talk a lot about Kenyon, but I think Jamari goes under the radar quite a bit just because of how good Kenyon is. How valuable is he for this program, especially considering it's his first year in the program and he was injured for a lot of spring?
Yeah, he's had an unbelievable attitude, and Roger as well made some big plays. Has obviously made big plays for us in special teams. Had a big catch, but Jamari's we're really satisfied with what he's been able to do for us in the program. He's playing at a really really high level and doing a lot of really good things. So that whole tight end group is doing a great job, and that's credit to Coach Maringer and those guys.
Second row left there.
Dante has a game like he has on Saturday or Friday, I guess. How do you think that kind of benefits the offense going into the stretch run here of just the confidence that he should be coming in with?
Yeah, it's certainly a huge benefit, and I think I said it Friday, but I'd say it again that Dante had a great game, but there's some unbelievable catches and some great pass protection and a lot of pieces that go into that. And I think when all those things click, when your quarterback plays like he did in that game. I think that's a great representation of the entire product of the offense and guys making unbelievable catches, got a quarterback putting the ball in the right spots, guys protecting the quarterback. All those things have to take place for that to work. Great scheme from the coaches, and it's awesome when you have those things rolling.
Third row right, Owen.
We're facing a couple really good receiving cores back-to-back here Friday night and then in USC. I'm just curious what you thought went well against Minnesota and then what you're looking to execute against USC.
Yeah, I thought we played a complete game in a lot of ways. There's certainly some moments that we want to have back, but looking at what USC does, obviously Mekhi Lemon is as good as they come. Jacoby Lane does a great job outside. I think this is one of the best receiving cores we've seen since we've been here, and their quarterback's playing really really high level as well. And they have schemes that challenge you. They do a good job moving the guys around, making it tough to be able to figure out where they're at. So it's a real challenge for us, but one that we're excited to embrace.
You're saying with Lemon being able to move him around, beat you at different levels. What goes into getting your secondary ready for a challenge where you have a guy who can beat you at different things like that?
Yeah, just your preparation, lots of preparation and film study, recognizing what he's good at, and then just being aware of where guys like that are on the field at all times. I think you always have to have an awareness where he's at.
Left, James.
Following on him, Dan, because he also has a role in special teams as well. How unique is it to be that good at the receiving position or corner? It's usually the skill guys, but to also be a weapon in that regard in the return game. And obviously you guys have done an excellent job neutralizing that, but what makes him unique in that regard in the return game?
I think, a lot of times you see the best players are able to make an impact in the special teams. And he's obviously one that they utilize there. But yeah, he's a dynamic player and that's certainly a challenge.
In the back, Jack.
Coach, 2 weeks left. I know you guys are obviously focused on USC this week, but a lot of the talk, especially as we get later into the season, obviously about who's going to be in college football playoffs. With where you guys currently are situated, do these last 2 games of the regular season feel like pretty much the start of the college football playoffs for you guys?
The only thing that matters for us this week is USC. We can continue to do our job. The rest takes care of itself.
You're in front right, Zach.
Last few games have been really physical games, kind of predicated by the run. This game looks like it's going to be a little bit more open up offensively just because of what USC does. Is that encouraging, exciting for the secondary to kind of, obviously they've had roles to play in the past few games, but this is going to be more based on them and what they can do against their pass?
Yeah, we're playing an offense that throws for 300 and rushes for 200, so it all matters, right? But this will still be a physical football game, right? And I think physical football teams win. That's certainly going to matter in this game, but they challenge you in all ways with what they're able to do offensively.
On the left, Eric.
I think people continue to be impressed by Jordan Davison and just the growth there. Where have you seen that from the start of the season? He's kind of using short yardage, goal line, and now he's not only in every part of the field back, but he's breaking off 40-yard runs and big runs weekly.
Yeah, we always talk about don't wait for your opportunity, be ready for your opportunity. And Jordan's a great example of a guy that's been ready for his opportunity. Everything we've thrown at him, he's handled really well. I've said it several times, he's a very intelligent player. We can throw basically anything at him, and he can attack it. And he's proven to be a dynamic back for us that can help us running the ball, protecting, blocking. He does it all. He's a jack of all trades.
Right, Alex.
And what makes their run game and 30, their lead back in particular, so effective?
Yeah, that with the passing attack that they have, the combination of both, you feel like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You can't steal one and do a really good job against one and not be good against the other. And they do a great job of. They're one of the few teams in college football that do a great job of running the ball out of spread formations as well. It's not always spread to throw it and condensed to or to run it. They do a good job of both. They get guys on different levels. And ultimately they do a good job of hitting seams and getting vertical.
For as much as there is to talk about in their pass game, Dan, obviously you guys are leading the country in pass defense as well, and you've made tremendous strides there. What do you attribute that to? I mean, obviously, yes, it's change in personnel, helps to have great players, but you had 5 seniors who were awfully good too. They were just short. So is it just really good players who are longer and taller? Is it as simple as that, or what goes into being the number 1 pass defense?
Yeah, I think growth, just overall as a program. Certainly personnel is a big piece of that. We have good players. I think, schematically we've gotten better as coaches too of putting guys in good situations. I think it's also, we have to be aware that we played in some rain games too where it's difficult to pass the ball. I think all those things contribute, but our players certainly take pride in it, and that's a big piece of it.
Several players that are connected, that have been connected to the USC program before, whether it's Gary and Bear and Pregnon transferring there, players that grew up there were recruited by them. Have you felt a sense that this game means a little bit more for some of the guys just personally? Well, every game obviously means a ton at this point in the season.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be unfair. I wouldn't say I feel a sense from any of those guys of that, but it'd probably be unfair to assume that they don't. I'm sure it means a lot to those guys.
Aioli and Pregnon swap spots along the lines. I was just wondering, after you got to watch the film, how you felt those guys handled that and what you saw from them on film.
Yeah, I thought they handled it well. Again, we'll continue to move guys around to figure out where our best 5 are and how that fits. And especially at this point in the season, when certain guys are banged up, you got to look at different options there.
What's unique about Mayava?
He's not getting enough credit, for one. I'll say that. I mean, he's more athletic than people realize, throws the ball well. I think he keeps his eyes downfield even when rush is imminent and getting close, and does a really good job. And he can certainly beat you with his legs, too, in the run game. So he's a complete quarterback. He plays with toughness. He wants to go get it guy. He's a guy that's going to compete till the end and shows up consistently for them.
You guys' offense obviously very efficient this past Friday, 4 for 4 inside the red zone, taking on a USC team that ranks top 10 nationally, I believe, in red zone defense, just allowing I think a 71% just scoring rate. What do you guys need to do this week to sort of generate that same efficiency inside the red zone, inside those 20 yards?
Yeah, I think it starts with protecting the ball. I think that's an important play, a place that this team's been advantageous when it comes to creating takeaways, and that's something we have to do a great job of. And then ultimately focus on our assignments. USC does a great job there. Obviously, we have to do a great job there. And really, it's more about worrying about us than them.
We've got an update on Gary. Is it looking like he can progress to play again this regular season?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to really hop into injuries.
Obviously, there's a lot at stake in games like this, Dan. You've been a part of a good number of them in your career, but this is also supposed to be fun.
Right.
How much do you enjoy a matchup like this, where it is not just good on good or 2 top teams or all the things that are at stake, but you do have the top pass defense in this country. This may be the most talented receiving core you guys are going to face. All right, yeah, let's go settle it in 60 minutes.
Yeah, the challenge is always fun. The challenge is fun, and this is certainly a team that's a challenge. They play really good football. But yeah, these moments are fun. Obviously, when college game day is coming to come see you twice, there's a reason, right? And it speaks volumes about our fan base. It speaks volumes about our program and their program as well. When you get opportunities like that, that's something you want to take advantage of.
Last question, James.
How would you explain how you guys have been able to get the most out of Bear that really anybody has been able to throughout his career, and that this was all part of the plan and the vision, but it's one thing to have a plan, it's another thing to execute it, to get this production, even with the decreased reps, with a higher rate of production.
But Bear deserves the credit for what he's done. We certainly coached, Bear, and he's been super receptive and worked really hard to be the best version of himself, and I think he's come here and he's found the best version of himself, but he deserves the credit for what, he's helped create with Coach Tuioti and Coach Lapoy coaching him along the way and taking that coaching and executing it at a high level. And we've always talked about what do the reps look like, not how many of the reps. And I think, Bears realized that, and it certainly made an impact on our team in a positive light.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.